Ring up Graeme Kenna now.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up, or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again, leaving yourself another daily message, as I have been doing consistently on a daily basis since the 10th of October 2023, and today is the 12th of June 2024. So for a period of 6 months, I've been leaving you daily messages as the local authorities' legal representative, and yet you're refusing to engage with me or speak with me, and yet have been colluding and conspiring with the courts and tribunal services and the judges and the judiciary in order to make me homeless by disbanding the care home that I had been operating. I had been operating that care home from day one for 20 years in 2004 when I got the care home. The whole point of the care home was so I could provide care services for my family members, because you, the local authority, were clearly been failing to do so. What you choose to do is you choose to put forward a veneer of respectability and competency by getting your care quality commission chums to take off on your care home, so you can continue to say that you're doing all that you need to be doing and acting within the remits of the law that you're governed under, when the reality is far from the truth. Now, it's Eid coming up next month. You're claiming as to be a city of culture, yet you're denying my brother his basic rights to have a religious festival of Eid. You've not been meeting any of his religious needs. How can you on the one hand claim to be a city of culture, benevolent and benign, when the reality is that you're malicious and vindictive and have no respect for the people, and specifically you have no respect for my brother's religious rights? You've been abusing and exploiting him. It's quite clearly that you're now instructing the housing not the housing association. You finished with that. Now it's the care home, isn't it? It's Sunnydale Care Home run by David Crabtree that you're now who you've now commissioned in order to house my brother unlawfully against his will, by depriving him of his liberty and denying him his basic rights, even a basic right to have contact with me. I was discussing this with Christopher Browell, while I was leaving him a message stating that when you, the local authority, had falsely criminally convicted me and sent me to prison for financially abusing my mother and my brother, I was still able from a prison cell to ring home and speak to my mother and give her reassurances and speak to my brother Talim from prison as a convicted criminal, calling up the victims of my criminality or purported victims of my criminality that you had convicted me of. I was still able to speak to my brother. Now here as a free man, having served the time that you put me into prison several years ago, now all of a sudden, while you've instructed your police to put me on a police bail for 9 months, now there is no police bail. Nothing prevents me from speaking to my brother. Yet you see how you've orchestrated and designed and manufactured a situation where I'm prevented from speaking to my brother. Hence why I'm charging you £1 million for the deprivation of liberty of my brother. I may even look to charge the same amount to your co-conspirators and facilitators, namely David Crabtree and his Sunnydale Care Home. Your brother is there. It's evident to me as soon as first of all, what you've done is you've looked to entrap me into that environment by trying to get me into the jurisdiction of into the jurisdiction of the care home, so you can make false allegations against me. That all failed because I brought a chaperone with me as an independent witness that could have verified what you were attempting to do. So that all failed. So I got an opportunity to see my brother and meet with him and give him personal care because he'd been failing in the personal care. So that all failed. Then you needed to concoct a scenario where you needed to prevent me from speaking to my brother, which is then clearly fraudulent and false and lies, that he was so agitated afterwards, after my visit, that the care home is now concerned for him. This aspect of being concerned, you're concerned for him. You're just exploiting him for money or claiming to be concerned for him, and then subsequently prevented me not only from visiting my brother, but now have prevented me from speaking to my brother, and then subsequently stated the fact that, oh no, now I can't even ring the care home up because I'm recording the calls. Of course, you know I'm recording the calls. I made it quite clear to you and raised this as an issue back in September 2018, when you, the local authority, were supposed to you had taken about 6 to 8 months to deliberate on that, and then finally got back to me saying that you're going to put me under a vexatious complainant. If you remember, that's how the vexatious complainant policy arose. It arose because I initially told your complaints manager, Irina Arcus, that I'm going to be recording calls and publicizing it, and you should amend the council's constitution accordingly because I'm sick to death of your lying, cheating, bullshitting ways. So that happened in September and October 2018, and by 2019 you put a vexatious policy in response, and then also through instigating court proceedings which were all fraudulent and deceptive that led to my brother's murder. Now all of a sudden there is nothing in place that prevents me from speaking to my brother, but you then have used your vexatious complainant policy, namely preventing me from speaking to people and are forcing me to put things in writing. And now you've instructed the care home provider, Sunnydale Care Home, owned by Crabtree, that now we need to execute your complainant policy by forcing me to put things in an email. And one email I've sent on one day, being forced to send one email, emails on being railroaded to send emails. The Crabtree said that, he's going to terminate the contract. And this is what I believe is happening now. This is why Tracy from the care home is saying the day of the 21st, when there's going to be a multidisciplinary meeting where we're not going to be involved. I believe that's the day that a notice has already been served. My brother's in that care facility that you forced in there. The Crabtrees, they're obviously bottling it now and shitting themselves. So they've basically handed back the care contract to yourselves, and now you're going to be looking for an alternative provider for my brother once again. But we're going to be in the same situation. Nothing prevents me from speaking to my brother. Holding my brother hostage like this is clearly detrimental to both his well-being, and no doubt it will be detrimental to your finances, because obviously you're going to have to do this all over again. Nothing prevents me from seeing my brother, so you're going to try to find some way to prevent me from seeing my brother by trying to forcibly put me into jail once again under false pretenses, because that was what was planned, wasn't it? It was the case that I was supposed to go to the care home and the police were going to be called and I was going to be arrested for disturbing the peace or something like this, and then denied access to my brother, as you had previously done by denying me access to my mother. I did not get to see my mother for the last 334 days of her life, where you held her hostage in much the same manner and forcibly vaccinated her. Now you're forcibly giving my brother Talib medication that he's not consented to or agreed to.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't carry on recording or hang up, your message will be deleted. To listen to your message, press 1. Please record the rest of your message after the tone. When you've finished recording, press the hash key.
My brother's told me that you're trying to poison him through the medications that you're giving him that he's not consented to. Now, obviously, my brother's going to die in your care and custody. I've resigned myself to that fact. You're going to murder him. You've murdered everybody else. But I need you to justify how you could prevent me from seeing my brother on Eid, the religious festival of Eid, while at the same time you're claiming to be a city of culture. On the one hand, you're saying that we're a city of culture celebrating this, and then at the same time, you're preventing a disabled person who you forced into your care home to prevent him from seeing either me or my brother, seeing me or my sister. How can you do that? How are you justifying this? What basis are you justifying this? All you're doing is exposing yourself as being gangsters, pure criminal gangsters in positions of authority and power, racketeering and exploiting the weak and the vulnerable in society. Are these the British values that you're espousing to the world?
Sorry, but you've reached the maximum time available for recording your message. To listen to your message, press 1. To re-record your message, press 2. If you are happy with your message, press 4. To message sent. Goodbye.
Yeah. These are the British values that they're so proudly espousing to the world, are they? When they're torturing people in their care facilities, murdering, torturing and plundering. Those are the true British values that the world needs to know about, rather than the contrivances that they peddle out to the world. Absolutely ridiculous.